What's up, guys? This is a new Sports All Day video.
We're really sorry about the lack of posts recently. It's been really hard to get videos out with everything that's been going on right now.
We're coming out with a new series about football. We're going to be talking about all the teams and what they've been doing, so stay tuned for that.
So today we're going to be talking about the off-season news. It's been a really hectic off-season, even though it's only been a week since the World Series ended. So with our first off-season topic, it's the Blue Jays. Will they sign any of their young players to extensions? They have a lot of young talent, but it's not worth anything if they lose them after a year. They either go big or go home instead of having a great team for years and years and years and let their players develop more. And then they would be a World Series team. They have great pitching and great batting. One team that did a really good job of getting a good team for multiple years and signing better players is the Dodgers. But the Blue Jays don't have Los Angeles Dodgers money.
The Orioles. 2020 was just about the best season Orioles fans could have hoped for. Actual competitiveness, the emergence of young players, very few Chris Davis at bats. But the future will really arrive when number one prospect Adley Rutschman gets called to the big club. When will the Orioles do it, and what moves will they make this offseason to start building around him? When the minor leagues look like in 2021 will have a lot to do with determining that. At some point, though, he's coming.
The Rays. So what's the deal with Charlie Morton? The Rays couldn't have reached their second World Series without Morton winning all those decisive games. But they declined his $15 million option for next season. They said they would like to bring him back at a lower figure, but Morton toyed with retiring once and could do so again, or even go to another team. The Rays got so far with a delicate balance of pitching and defense this year, and losing Morton will leave a big hole to fill. I'm so good at vocabulary.
The Red Sox. How did they start approaching the rotation? The Red Sox obviously had a ton of rotation issues last year, and how they go about trying to fix those is the first priority. What will they do with Trevor Bauer, or will they try to fix the problem around margins? They might return John Lester, but sources have said that is unlikely due to the Cubs having a role in that. The Cubs have seen that John Lester has been playing very well and consistently, so they would like to keep him. So that is unlikely, but could still happen.
How about the Yankees? Will they bring back DJ LeMahieu? They want more starting pitching this offseason as well, but perhaps the pressing issue is whether they can bring back LeMahieu, who declared for free agency last week. The Yankees gave him a qualifying offer, but it might require more than that. And LeMahieu has been quite possibly the Yankees' best, most most consistently healthy player during his 2 years in New York. Can they afford to let him go?
The Indians. Will Francisco Lindor get traded? It is possible that Lindor stays with the Indians this offseason, but with him set to make $20 million plus in his final year of arbitration, it sure seems likely that Cleveland's going to find a place for him before he hits free agency. What can they get for him? Did they wait too long? We shall know soon.
The Royals. Will Danny Duffy forever be a Royal? The Royals' left-hander has seemingly been on the trade block forever, but he remains, for now, a Royal. As he famously demanded he be buried. He's in the last year of his contract, though, and the Royals have a core group that may not include him. He can always come back to be buried in Kansas City if he wants.
The Tigers. How does AJ Hinch get settled in? We all assumed that AJ Hinch would get another job at some point after the Astros mess, and the Tigers make sense in a lot of ways. But it's still going to draw attention to a team that honestly hasn't had much of it in the last few years. How does his presence change the direction of the team, if it does at all?
The Twins, how they handle Eddie Rosario. Rosario has been a big part of the Twins' success in the past few years. But he may have been a little bit pricey for them in the last year of arbitration, especially at his most recent level of production. The Twins also have a ton of outfielders ready to step in. They will essentially have to make a decision in the next month. They might not wait that long.
The White Sox. Tony's here. Now what? The White Sox stunned baseball world by bringing in Tony La Russa, nearly a decade after his last game as manager, to take over one of the youngest, most exciting teams in baseball. Will it be too much of a culture clash, or is he the guy to push the team to the next level? There isn't a single postseason question for this team that isn't directly about TLR.
Angels. Hey, who's the GM? General managers are pretty important, and the Angels currently do not have one after letting Billy Epler go. This is one of the most fascinating jobs in all of baseball, with Trout and Anthony Rendon and Shohei Ohtani in the roster. All sorts of roster blow and shaky farm system. The Angels have immediate urgency and long-term issues to deal with. Finding the right person will be critical.
The Mariners. Will they supplement the bullpen? The Mariners have a young core that the team's brass seems inclined to let just run back out there. But the bullpen was a major issue, and one that can derail a lot needed progression.
The Rangers. Do they trade Lance Lynn? The Rangers look like they're about to enter an extended reconstruction period, and their best trade piece is Lynn, who has been terrific for 2 years now with just 1 year left on his contract. Every team needs pitching, and there are many, many World Series contenders who can use Lynn.
So right now, I'm actually going to do a new segment, and we're going to tell what our postseason predictions were in all of AL, American League, and National League. I'll do National League, he can do American League. So, for the first game, it was Atlanta versus Cincinnati. I went Atlanta. They won. For the second game, it was Chicago versus Miami. I went Chicago, but no. And San Diego versus St. Louis, I went San Diego. They won. For Dodgers versus Milwaukee, I went Dodgers. Then for the Miami versus Atlanta, I went Atlanta. Dodgers versus San Diego, I actually went San Diego, but the Dodgers won, and I was right about Atlanta. Then Dodgers versus Atlanta, I went Dodgers. And then for the World Series, I went Dodgers. I also had an AL list, but I'm going to let Q go AL.
Alright, so AL, Tampa Bay versus Blue Jays. I actually thought that the Blue Jays were going to win. I know that's going to come off as bias or whatever, but I thought the Blue Jays were going to win. But Tampa Bay won. Cleveland versus New York. I think this was obvious. If not, I thought that the Yankees would win. Twins, Houston. I'm a Dodger fan, so I hate Houston. I wanted the Twins to win, but they didn't. A's, White Sox. A's, easy win. Well, they won. At least that's all that matters. Houston A's. I wanted the A's to win because I'm a Dodger fan, but I kind of knew that the Astros were going to win. The A's always choke in the postseason. Tampa Bay, New York. I thought New York was gonna make it easy to at least the ALCS, but Tampa Bay won. Houston, Tampa Bay. I thought that Houston was gonna win.
Yeah,
They
they
won
almost
so
came
easily.
back.
Yeah, they came back 3-0. From down 0-3. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. They came back from down 3-0. It was pretty impressive, but still lost. So, World Series, I thought Dodgers were gonna win. They should have won a lot easier. Didn't need 6 games, but took them 6 games. So,
Okay, so that's a new segment.
for the offseason news, we forgot the A's and the Athletic. I mean the Astros and the Athletics. So we should do that now.
Yeah.
I'll do the Astros. Or I knew the outfielders coming back. Actually, um, the whole darned outfield has become free agents this year, with George Springer, Michael Brantley, and Josh Reddick hitting the market. Reddick's almost certainly gone, and Springer and Brantley will seem well positioned for a good payday. And the transitioning Astros might blanch at. That said, who are the outfielders going to be if they all leave?
The A's. Will Marcus Semien return? Semien didn't have a third in the AL MVP race season in 2020, but he was still key to everything the A's are doing, and he's beloved in the clubhouse. He's a free agent, but grew up in the East Bay and wants to stay. But can the A's give him what he wants? Only time will tell.
That is the end for this. We forgot the Braves, the Marlins, and the Mets, Phillies,
We
National.
forgot a lot of people.
We'll do that in the next one.
Actually, let's just finish up the Cubs here because we actually have the Cubs in the thumbnail.
That's right.
So we don't want to clickbait, clickbaiting. So the Cubs, what do they do with the core four? Four members of that Cubs 2016 title team: Javier Baez, Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, and Anthony Rizzo, will all be free agents after the 21 season. That definitely makes it look like this is going to be the one last rodeo for the Cubs. But will they extend any of them, or will they just let this ride?
Chris Bryant is actually in the trade rumors, so he might not even be a part of the last rodeo.
Yeah. But he's had a terrible season. I don't know if it's because of COVID. He was a star one time. Now he's a flop.
This is not his
batting
year.
under 200 this year, and it's his worst season.
And there have been a lot of.
I don't know if it's because COVID or I don't know.
I think. Sorry to interrupt, but I think the reason why a lot of the star players last year are having like a down year this year, because I think they were making changes to maybe possibly be even better, but due to COVID, they had to stop everything, stop with all their progress, and just go where they last left off, which was still in progress. So they had to try to fix it during the season, and they just couldn't.
Well, that's going to be it for today. We have a part 2 coming out soon, so be tuned for that and be ready for the football series, and we'll see you later.